While everyone in Washington is focused on domestic policy, the price you're paying at the pump is actually being set by a conflict that's happening thousands of miles away. So today, we're going to decode the real story behind these shocking gas prices, because the source material we're looking at argues it's way more complex than just a simple supply issue.
$4.12. Let that sink in for a second. That's the average price for just 1 gallon of gas across the United States. It's a staggering 40% jump from before all this started. And that number, well, it isn't just an inconvenience. According to our source, it's actually a weapon.
So you gotta ask, right? Why is this happening? If it's not the simple supply and demand story we always hear, then what is really going on? Well, let's walk through this analysis together, step by step, and uncover the hidden mechanics of this whole economic conflict.
Okay, let's dive right into the heart of it. The central thesis of this analysis is that this massive price hike is no accident, not at all. It's the intended result of a coordinated strategy, one designed to take the American consumer hostage and, really, to try and dismantle the U.S. economy from the inside out.
Our investigation starts in the Middle East, right at the world's most critical energy choke point. This is basically ground zero, where the immediate cause of the crisis is unfolding in what the source is calling a toll booth economy.
So, what exactly is a toll booth economy? Well, it's a strategy of weaponizing geography. Just imagine a country controlling a super important highway and then deciding to charge an absolutely exorbitant toll, letting their friends pass for a fee while blocking their enemies completely. That's precisely what our source claims Iran is doing. So, here's how the tactic apparently works. After those peace talks collapsed, Iran began treating the 21-mile-wide Strait of Hormuz like its own private revenue stream. They're reportedly charging ships $2 million for safe passage. The source labels this economic vandalism because it selectively bleeds U.S. allies while making Tehran a whole lot richer. And the impact is just massive. In only 44 days, this strategy has reportedly cost Europe over $22 billion. And here's the kicker. All of that happened without a single extra drop of oil being added to the market. This tells you everything you need to know. This isn't about production, it's all about control. But hold on, how can Iran just defy a U.S. naval blockade like that? According to the source, it's because they're not acting alone. Not by a long shot. They're part of a powerful international alliance that this analysis is calling the shadow axis. And this analysis points to a really clear division of labor. You've got China, who's acting as the banker. They're buying up 90% of Iran's oil and pumping in cash through a massive $400 billion strategic deal. That's what allows Tehran to bypass sanctions. And then you've got Russia serving as the intelligence engine, providing all the sophisticated satellite and AI-enhanced targeting data that Iran needs.
We saw this support on full display when a sanctioned Chinese tanker, the Rich Starry, just sailed right through the U.S. blockade without being challenged at all. The source calls this a paper tiger moment for the U.S. Navy, basically a demonstration that when Beijing draws a red line, Washington now has to think twice.
So here's the crucial point. China's support isn't just about getting cheap oil. The analysis argues its ultimate goal is what's being called the yuanization of energy. They're using this conflict as leverage to try and break the U.S. dollar's monopoly on the global energy trade. And now for the wild card. The source identifies a third, really unexpected player in this drama, and it's one that was publicly playing the role of peacemaker, while secretly it was fueling the entire conflict. What they pulled off is a masterclass in what the source calls shadow capitalism. Pakistan allegedly hosted peace talks for diplomatic cover, while at the same time secretly acting as a courier boy, moving Chinese missiles to Iran. Then it leveraged the chaos that it helped create to secure $5 billion in loans and sell its military services to the highest bidder. So, let's tie all of this together. You've got the Hormuz toll booth, the shadow axis, and Pakistan's secret dealings. These are all pieces of a much, much larger puzzle. The ultimate target, according to this analysis, is the very foundation of American global power, the dollar itself. What we're really